you know, from a character standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, effort in practice, effort in, you know, watching film and just trying to develop and grow. You know, he's approaching every day like, you know, hey, this is year one for him, which is awesome. Yeah.
What's the benefit of having Matt here who coached Jordan and Mason?
Yeah.
Do you pick the brain about how do I get to those guys?
Yeah, it's first of all, Mason and Jordan are just awesome like individuals. So there's no like character issues. Like the guys, you know, scouting, everybody did a great job and just understanding who they were as a player. And obviously having Matt here helps reaffirm what type of people they are first. And so now just having them here, you could talk to him about how they learn. That's probably like how did these guys learn that? Hey, are they more walkthrough guys, hands-on, film? You pick his brain about the different ideas and how they picked up his scheme, you know, at LSU. So I know that helps.
Why are defensive linemen big personality guys? Not all of them, but a lot of them. I mean, they're like Roy and I mean all those Mason, you know, Air. I mean, why?
I mean, you think about the job description, right? So especially on the interior, you're getting touched. You're touching somebody every play. There's double teams. The physicality of playing that position, you know, is just different from anywhere else. So you gotta have a little edge to you, a little personality just with playing that position. And I think those guys have played it their whole lives, and so you start to build that mentality.
So who's that guy that stands out for you that does that of this group? I know you haven't been in pads and you haven't been in fights with the offensive linemen yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't say one guy stands out. I would say that I'm pleased with the effort of the entire room. Like even with guys who are not practicing right now for whatever reason, like you still have guys attacking the meeting rooms. You know, you have guys who are taking the mental reps and help coaching the technique, you know, of the other guys. So I think we have a really good cohesive unit, and that's the biggest thing, to build that brotherhood to where it's, hey, I'm gonna own my gap because I know you're gonna own yours. I'll make my plays and I trust you to make yours. So that's what I'm really excited about in that room.
We talked about championship experience, right? A guy like Eric brings that, but we can talk all of it. But how have you seen him bring that championship pedigree, maybe that leadership style to this team as soon as you have him?
Yeah, you mentioned it. I think it's just leadership. I think it's the behind the scenes, grabbing a rookie to the side, talking through some things with him, talking to a vet, or talking to someone about a practice mentality, just things of that nature, just from experience. Talking to someone about an alignment in the pass rush. Hey, this is going to make the guard set this way, and so you just hear the experience and him talk through it, and it's really, really exciting to have him here in this building with our guys.
Jeremy, what have you learned about Devon Hamilton in terms of what happened last year and where you've seen the growth, him coming back and trying to get stronger and back to normal?
Yeah, I know in obviously 22 had an outstanding year, and then the setback in 23, which, you know, that talking to him, that took a toll on him, you know, mentally, physically. It's a scare, right? You know, this is not only a football player, as a husband and a father, and so you got all these things that coming up, and so I think he's grateful to, like, be thankful to be back, to be able to function, to play the game he loves, and that's how he approached each day. Like, he's asking questions. I mean, you couldn't tell this guy, you know, has played in the league several years, because he's approaching it as I'm trying to get better, I am trying to improve each and every day. And then the effort in practice is just phenomenal, like running to the ball and what he's trying to accomplish. So, you know, really, really, man, see him, you know, working to get back to that. And hopefully that's what we see. Or better.
Yeah, there you go. That's
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about your connection with Ryan? How did it, you know, I mean, 6 years ago you were a high school football coach.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and then you were at Liberty, and then you're at Auburn. What was the connection that brought you here?
So many people don't know this, I guess. So in 2005, at Ole Miss, Ryan was my D-line coach.
Okay.
Yeah, so he coached me at Ole Miss 2005, 6, and 7. The important part of that relationship, man, I think it went past, the years I played for him into the years of me being a D-line coach and him being one of the best in the country at the position, and me having that as a resource to help, he helped me develop as a coach throughout those years. And I wouldn't be the coach I am without that relationship over the years.
Okay, so where did you go after Ole Miss?
So in Ole Miss, I went coached high school football. Actually started in banking.
Okay.
Had a master's in business. So I started down a whole different route prior to coming to coaching.
Okay,
so in 2007 and 8, and then realized that the profession I wanted to be in was coach to help guys grow and develop. Just started out, coaching high school football.
Okay, so I got to ask you this. So when you say you started in banking, were you
loan officer?
You were a loan officer. Where at?
One of the best in the country.
Where at? What bank?
So started off in Wells Fargo.
Okay. Where?
And then South Haven, Mississippi.
Okay.
And then went to Regions Bank. I'm telling you now, one of the best in the country. Top 5. All of this type stuff. Was in line for promotions and things of that nature. And I remember going home and telling my wife, I was like, I want to coach. And so that's when I jumped into coaching and hadn't looked back.
Okay, so at any
Go from
point,
a 9 to 5 to a
24/7.
yeah.
Not off.
So at any point during this banking process you were going through, did you hear at all from Ryan and say, something like, what are you doing in banking?
So
Why are you in coaching?
I'm gonna tell you, man. So I financed a loan for the local principal of the high school in South Haven, and he.
This was in Mississippi.
This was in Mississippi. He comes in and he says, "Are you Jeremy Garrett that played at Ole Miss?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Why are you in banking? Why are you not coaching? We could use your help." So I remember going to one summer workout, watching the guys work out, practice and all that thing, and deciding that, hey, this is what I want to do. Don't really care what it pays. This is what I want to do. And so end up, doing that and coaching high school ball. And Ryan was recruiting the high school I was coaching at, my first year, and he shows up. And I was like, oh, okay, coach. So just reconnected there and just really helped me grow as a D-line coach from, that point on.
Okay, which high school are we talking about? Because you were head
This
coach.
was South Haven High School.
Okay, so
that was my first.
were you an assistant? Or were you
Yeah,
the head coach?
assistant.
Okay.
That was my first ever high school coaching job.
Were you expecting to go pro at some point, like play in the NFL?
Yeah. So got to 2006, it was my junior year. Had a pretty good season and had some injuries. So it's everybody's dream. You play the sport, you want to play at the next level. Fortunately, man, the next best thing is to coach at that level. And so having this opportunity is awesome, man. It's not one I take for granted.
The injuries though were the setback.
Yeah, the injuries and probably wasn't good enough. I wasn't Devon Hamilton. So you can't. You look at that. Who knows? Right. So I don't want to say what it was, but it just didn't work out. Yeah.
Jeremy, how hard is it right now to work with this defensive line to not have all your guys and to have Armstead on the sideline and Will Robinson Harris? How hard is that?
Yeah, I don't think it's been hard. You just focus on the guys who are available, and the focus is always on the improvement, of those guys, and as well as the guys who are not, who are not practicing at the moment. You focus on the mental part of the game, and really learning the playbook and learning what to do in the defense and schematically. So guys are still getting better, whether they're physically able to practice, and that's really the focus of a coach, to just improve those guys.
What's Armstead going to bring to this team?
First of all, the experience. A knowledgeable, experienced D lineman who's Super Bowl experience, played the game for a long time, run in the past, and just that leadership ability. He's already been vocal with the younger guys as well as the guys who've been here and just what he sees and just how to play the game, how to be a pro. So first and foremost, I think he's a valuable asset to us. The rookies are improving. They're catching on to the defensive scheme and the speed of the game in the NFL. Really pleased with their progress and how they're learning the techniques and fundamentals of what we're teaching as well.
I thought, obviously a year ago you weren't here, but
Yeah.
you look at what Devon Hamilton did. I thought he was the best defensive player here last August, and he went down with that ailment. It looks as though he's back, and I understand you haven't seen him in pads, but your early impression on the return of Devon Hamilton?
Oh, so you better believe I watched all of 22 of him when I first got here, and just seeing it's funny because in 20, I was an assistant D-line coach in Cleveland and evaluated him coming out.
Right.
So he was one of the guys that I liked and was really excited when I got here because I watched him some in 22. Then I heard about what happened in 23. But just, getting him back to that form, and I truly believe he will get there. Looked explosive in practice. You can see some of the drills that he's doing. I think he's getting back and he's getting comfortable with what we're asking him to do. So just really excited about him.
What is it like working with Ryan Nielsen, who also runs the line?
Oh, Ryan Nielsen, that's my guy. So many people don't know, but he coached me. Yeah, so in 2005, I played D-line at Ole Miss, and he was my position coach. So you're talking about a relationship that spans from 2005 up until now, and it's really good. It's really unique to be coached by him and to also have a guy that's mentored me throughout my career in previous NFL stop and in college ball, and to now be able to be here and work with him with that knowledge, experience, and the trust factor of, hey, this was my coach, and now we're working together. I think that's awesome. And him being a D-line guy, like, I've always thought he's one of the best developers of defensive linemen in the country. So to have him here as an asset while I'm coaching that position, you can't put a value on that.
Is it the same kind of coaching style as him, or do you feel like you're a little bit different?
I'm a different guy. I say we have some similarities and a little different, but I like to bring energy to the table with the guys, and the biggest thing I want to coach technique and fundamentals. So I'm always looking for ways and nitpicking of the ways that the guys can improve their play and play hard. Like that's what we want to see on tape.
I'm excited about the rookies. I know when I talked to Trent, they were talking a little bit about some of the second, third round picks.
Yeah.
That to have, maybe they haven't lived up to what their full potential is, whether it's injuries or whatnot. Are you
Yeah.
excited to kind of have that role and get to play and come back?
Yeah, very, very excited about those guys. Two different type players. Jordan's more the nose and Mason is more the three. But to see their strengths and then their improvable areas, I just think the future is bright for them. Jordan being very strong at the point of contact, and Mason being a really good athlete, flexible, play to run, can rush as well. So really excited about what those guys bring to the table. And, our job is to maximize their potential to get them over the hump and get them better and help them have, really good careers.